Good luck.
Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün başarılı bir kariyer planı için Into UK sunumuyla University of Manchester'da eğitimi Sem'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı sağ alt köşede Questions bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Sam, the stage is yours now.
Brilliant, thank you very much. What I'll do is I'll just share my screen with you all. Okay. Perfect. So hopefully you can all see that now. It's a pleasure to be introducing myself to you all, and thank you all for participating in this session. My name's Sam Ridley. I'm the International Recruitment Manager here at Into Manchester. And today, what I'm going to be speaking to you about is the city of Manchester, before then focusing on Into Manchester as a study centre and how we work and who we work with. And then what I'll do is focus on our partnership with the University of Manchester, focusing on a few of their unique selling points. What I'll do is I will share a copy of this presentation with you all afterwards, so you've got the information moving forward. And on the end slide is my contact information as well. So if you've got any questions moving forward, you can contact me directly. I'm more than happy to act as your kind of main point of contact here at Into Manchester. If you've got any questions, please feel free to submit them, and we can look at those at the end of the presentation. It'll take about 30 minutes to get through this, and then there'll be about 15 minutes at the end to address questions. Okay, so something's making a noise. Just bear with me 1 second. Just double check I'm not missing anything.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, people are just saying hello. Okay. Yeah.
Could you please share your presentation again?
Yeah. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is kick things off by sort of talking about the city. So Manchester. Manchester is a world-class city, and it's a huge city known for a whole host of things. We've got a proud history and heritage, specifically in science, politics, music, arts, and of course, sports. So from Emmeline Pankhurst, who fought for women's voting rights, through to Alan Turing, who's known as the father of artificial intelligence, Manchester's made its mark in the fields of politics and technology. And it's also got an internationally renowned music scene. So it's generated a whole host of internationally recognized artists and groups, including Oasis, the Stone Roses, and the 1975. Manchester is also on the map for having two world famous football teams, so Manchester City and Manchester United, a world-class university, the University of Manchester, which I'll be talking about a little later on, and a flourishing food scene and tons of additional culture. So there's a lot going on. It's worth noting here, you can see the humble worker bee symbol. So this is the symbol of Manchester. And it's been part of the city's coat of arms since 1842. It was originally introduced and linked to industry, but since 2017, the meaning has somewhat sort of developed and evolved, and it's now seen as a symbol of strength and pride for all sort of Mancunians. So this symbol is dotted throughout the city and used in various sort of spots and locations. And we've also got it situated within our study centre as well. So don't be surprised if you see this symbol associated or linked to Manchester. We're located in the northwest of England, and we're a very well-connected city, not just regionally, but also internationally. So regionally, we're very well connected, and we've got a really good railway sort of system in place. So we've got 98 train stations located across Greater Manchester, and we're actually just across the road from Manchester's Oxford Road train station. So students have the ability to hop on a train very easily and very cheaply and access some amazing cities, villages and towns. So you've got the likes of Liverpool, Leeds, Sheffield, York, just on the doorstep, and they're about an hour to an hour and a half away on the train. And you can also get up to the likes of Glasgow, Edinburgh within about 3 hours, and down to London within about 2.5. So like I say, regionally through our train service, it's a very well connected city. And internationally, it's just as well connected. So it's home to Manchester's International Airport, which is the largest regional UK airport and flies to over 200 different worldwide destinations. So again, internationally as well as regionally, it's a very well connected city. And because of that, it's one of the fastest growing economies in the UK, and it's referred to as the UK Northern Powerhouse. So that's really good, not just for our current students, but particularly for our graduates. It means that those that are wanting to remain in the city and are looking for work, you know, they're in a very dynamic, growing cities, and it makes life a little easier for them. Like I said at the beginning, it's a huge city. It's got a population right now of 2.5 million, and it's got one of the largest student populations in the whole of Europe. So currently there are 100,000 students studying and living within the city of Manchester. It's also the most linguistically diverse city in Western Europe, with over 200 languages spoken throughout. So that means that it's an incredibly multicultural, diverse and welcoming city to not just students, but to all. That coupled with that kind of student hub vibe makes Manchester a really unique, interesting place to live and study. And what I'm going to do now is just play for you all a quick 2-minute video. This was created by the University of Manchester, and it's a series of very quick interviews with local residents. So hopefully this gives you a better flavour, feel for Manchester and what it has to offer. Oh, sorry, let me just play that. Sorry, there we go. Perfect. So like I say, hopefully that gives you a bit of a better sense, feel for the city. In terms of our location within the city centre, you can see here we're located, and we're bang in the heart of the city centre. So as you'd expect from any city of this size, being in the middle of the city, right on your doorstep, you've got various retail and grocery shops. You've got a whole host of restaurants, bars and coffee shops, art galleries, museums, you name it. It's there on your doorstep. Train stations, as I touched on them earlier, there are a plethora of train stations across the city. We're fortunate in having Manchester Oxford Road train station about a 3-minute walk away. So it's literally just across the road. And as the name suggests, it's located on Oxford Road. So this road here is sort of known as Knowledge Corridor for a number of reasons. The main one being sort of the types of institutions populating the street. So you've got a number of universities, including Manchester Metropolitan University and of course the University of Manchester. You've also got a whole host of museums, art galleries, research centres and hospitals. And also it's one of the most well-serviced public transport routes in the whole of Europe. And there's a specific student service shuttle bus available. So regardless of where you're studying, students, as long as they've got their student ID card, can hop on a bus for free and get up and down this road. And it leads straight into kind of the retail district, Chinatown, and sort of main sort of city centre. So it's quite a good sort of access road. Accommodation is within about a 10-minute walking distance. And like I say, if you hop on a train, you can get to Manchester Airport relatively quickly. It's about a 20-minute journey. Everything that you'll need is within about a 15-minute walking radius. And Manchester is sounds a bit silly to say, but it's a very flat city. So you're not having to hike up any big hills. If you were to kind of get a cheap bike, it's very easy to cycle around. So yeah, we're very well situated, very well connected, and it's very easy to kind of get around. In terms of into Manchester, we are a multi-pathway study centre. So we offer a variety of programs at foundation, year 1 and pre-masters level. And when students complete a course with us, they'll receive a guaranteed conditional offer to one of 16 NC UK partner universities. And the University of Manchester is, of course, one of those partners. We also have a total of 6 Russell Group universities to choose from. So it's not just the University of Manchester. We also work with Sheffield, Leeds, Queens, Exeter, Birmingham, and so on. We also have within the partners 4 triple accredited business schools as well, including the University of Manchester's. So there are sort of other options available outside of the University of Manchester. But as you'd expect, the University of Manchester is one of our main partners. And students, like I say, when they study with us on one of 5 foundation years, then have a guaranteed sort of option of going to the first year of study at the University of Manchester. The actual centre itself, like I say, it's a purpose-built learning hub designed specifically with international students in mind. So we don't have any domestic students studying with us. It's just made up of international students. So all of the facilities, all of the student services, academic and pastoral staff, it's all been sort of designed, set up with international students in mind. So we have well-equipped classrooms and teaching spaces throughout, including state-of-the-art computing suites. We also have physical and virtual learning environments as well. So the physical are things like those computing suites, the library, study spaces, and so on. For students wanting to study with us online for either a portion of their studies or for the duration, they can do so through the virtual learning environment. So all of the content, the teaching style, the assessments has all been kind of tweaked to allow for students to study with us virtually. And in addition to those academic spaces, we have a variety of social spaces as well throughout the city, throughout the centre, including the cafeteria. We have on-hand bespoke support available as well. And like I say, because we only work with international students, all of the academic and the pastoral and progression staff are very knowledgeable and experienced with dealing with international students and their specific queries and concerns. So as I mentioned, we offer a variety of programs. We have that guaranteed conditional offer to one of 16 NC UK partners. I've listed them here. And to make life easier for our students and for ourselves, what we've done is we've split these routes into 3 sort of categories and color-coded them. So the University of Manchester pathway is the purple pathway. And that's what I'll be focusing on within this presentation. So what we offer are 5 foundation courses listed here. So you've got biosciences, engineering and science, humanities and social sciences, pharmacy and psychology. So you'll study with us on one of those programs for either 3 or 4 terms. So that's 9 or 12 months. We've got a number of start dates available depending on your terms. So if you're doing a 3-term study period with us, you can start with us in January or September. And if you're doing a 4-term, you can start with us in June or September. In terms of entry criteria, it's pretty straightforward. All that we ask is that students come to us with at least 12 years worth of schooling, and each application will be assessed on a case-by-case basis. So as soon as you apply, it's not a one shoe fits all. We assess each application as they come in. We take into account individual circumstances, qualifications, background before making an offer, and the turnaround time is around 24 hours. So we're quite good at getting back to you with an offer one way or another. In addition to that 12 years of schooling, we also need you to have an IELTS of some sort. So if you're coming to us on a 3-term, the minimum requirement is an IELTS of 5.0 with a minimum of 5.0 in writing. If you're coming on a 4-term, the IELTS requirement is slightly low, so it's 4.5 with a 4.5 in writing. And the reason for that is that during that 4-term period of study, we'll look to up your IELTS to a 5. In terms of age requirements, it's pretty straightforward, 16 years or above. Tuition fees range, so if you're coming on a 3-term, it's 19,565, and if it's a 4-term, it's 24,595. And we do have a number of scholarships available. I believe the current scholarship is £1,000 available. And after you've completed that foundation year with us, you'll be awarded an International Foundation Certificate, level 3 from NC UK, which is a really sort of prestigious, recognized qualification. So with this, you don't just have to go to the University of Manchester or one of the 16 partners. We've had students use this to go to over 60 different UK-based universities, including Cambridge University. So, like I say, it's a very sort of recognized level 3 qualification. So like I say, we have 5 foundation years. Having a look at our previous students from Turkey, a lot of them have come on to sort of these 2 foundation years, so the engineering and science and the humanities and science, social sciences. So I thought it might be worth just sort of focusing on these 2 rather than all 5. Obviously, if you're wanting more information about the psychology, the pharmacy, or one of the other programs, you can ask that at the question section of the presentation, or send me an email and I can give you a bit more detailed information at a later date. But for the engineering and science foundation year, students are assigned 3 out of 5 modules depending on their progression interests. So when you apply to study with us, you will select your foundation year and you'll tell us what it is you're wanting to study at the University of Manchester. And depending on that, we might change your international foundation year with us, or we might keep you in that and assign you specific modules to give you the best chance of progressing to that specific area of interest. So for engineering and science, I've listed the 5 modules here. So you'll study 3 out of these 5. And from there, you'll have access to 76 courses at the University of Manchester. Obviously, each of those have different entry requirements, which you'll sort of be given throughout your studies. So the majority of students on here, those 76 courses, they fall within the Faculty of Science and Engineering, which comprises of 9 schools. So it's a huge faculty. And those schools are from sort of chemistry right the way through to computer science. So you'll be able to access all of those courses. The humanities and social sciences, it's basically the same process. So you apply to this program, you select your area of interest, and then you'll be assigned 3 out of 4 modules depending on your areas of interest. So the 4 modules are there. The courses available to students on this pathway, there's slightly more. There's 81 courses available at the university. And the Faculty of Humanities comprises of 5 schools, with the main ones being business and law. So the University of Manchester, I'm sure many of you are already aware of the University of Manchester. It's a high-profile, internationally regarded university. So it's part of the Russell Group of universities, which is quite a prestigious group to be a part of, and it's actually one of the founding members of the Russell Group. It's also very highly ranked, so not just course-specific rankings it does really well in, just its overall international ranking. So it's currently ranked 27th in the world and 6th in the UK by the QS World University Rankings, and that's 2021 rankings. So it's like I say, incredibly highly ranked, and it's actually produced some fantastic graduates. So I believe 25 Nobel Prize winners have studied or worked at the University of Manchester. So it's had on campus some exceptional staff and students. It's got a long history. So it was established in 1824, making it one of the oldest higher education institutions in the UK. In terms of student population, it's got just over 40,000 students studying with the university. So it's one of the largest universities in the UK. And out of that, 11,000 or just over 11,000 students are international. So it's not just got a big student population, it's got a very diverse and multicultural student population. I believe it's 160 nationalities are represented. So it's a really good institution for students all over the world. Also, it's got a huge alumni. It's got over 500,000 alumni located in over 190 different countries. So I know that the alumni team there are very good, and they stay connected with graduates, and they really do a good job of creating alumni networks within different countries. So when students leave the university, they're not kind of forgotten about. You know, they're still a focus on making sure they're still felt as sort of part of the University of Manchester family, if you will. I've already spoken about the faculties a little. So the 2 big ones, the humanities and the science and engineering faculties, I've already mentioned. They comprise of 9 schools, 4 schools. There's also a 3rd faculty, the biology, medicine and health faculty, and that comprises of 9 different schools. There are 500 plus different courses available to students across those 3 faculties and those schools. And tuition fees range from about £19,500 through to £24,000 per year, and that's at undergraduate level. And then the University of Manchester has won awards. It's got a really good student union. So this is run by students, for students, and houses all of the social events and activities, including managing the sports and the societies. And I believe the University of Manchester has an international student society, and branching off that, there are specific country societies. So I'm not entirely sure, I could be wrong. I believe there is a Turkish student society that you could join. but you'd have to double check that. But yeah, with it being such a big international student population there, they're able to accommodate sort of country-specific societies. It's also part of the British University competition scheme as well. So you can join one of the sports clubs, and through your sport, you can compete against students at other universities. And it's a really good way of, through sport, traveling the UK, basically. So you'll train on a Wednesday evening, and then on a Saturday, you'll hop on a coach. And it might be that one week you're playing down in Loughborough or London, and the next you might be up in Edinburgh playing there, and then you might host students in Manchester as well. So it's a really good way of kind of getting around the UK, and also making friends from other with students from other cities, universities through sport. The campus is located on the south side of Manchester and is split into two main areas. So you've got Oxford Road and Sackville Street. All the buildings themselves are within walking distance of each other. And like I say, it's very flat, as you can see in that image there. So it's very easy to kind of get around. Like I mentioned, there is a shuttle bus pickup and drop-off service available to students. And if you're not wanting to use that, it's about a 10-minute walk from the campus into the city centre. Like I say, it's located along Knowledge Corridor. So you've got access to a whole host of things along that stretch of road. And it's a very well-serviced public transport route. And it's very unlikely that you'll get lost. Having that there, you've always got kind of a point of getting back to the main road. In terms of accommodation, it's got a really good accommodation offering. So you are, as an international student, guaranteed accommodation throughout your studies, and there are over 8,000 rooms to pick from, with a variety of options available. So you've got en-suites, but you've also got shared bathrooms, you've got a self-catered option, you've got catered options, you've got shared housing, studios, and so on and so forth. They're split into three areas. So you've got the city, which is the closest and most convenient to getting to campus. You've got Victoria Park, which is about a 10-minute walk. And then you've got Fallowfield as well. And that's a little bit outside of the campus. You'll also have access to sports facilities. So a lot of the accommodation have in-house sports facilities as well as the universities. And you've got accommodation-specific welcoming events, competitions, and you've got 24/7 security and pastoral support available there as well. So linked to those two areas of progression that I mentioned earlier, I just want to focus on two main sort of facilities linked to those. There are a number of facilities at the University of Manchester, and we just don't have the time to go through all of them. So I thought it best just to kind of focus on two that are linked to those progression routes that I mentioned earlier. So linked to engineering, the University of Manchester has invested over £1 billion into a brand new teaching and research building, facilities, and major sort of campus accommodation improvements. So one of the main investments that they've made specifically linked to engineering is the MECD sort of site, so the Manchester Engineering Campus Development. So this now houses all of the engineering schools, facilities and services and students all in one building. So it's a huge building that comprises of all engineering. So you're not needing to kind of go over to opposite side of campus to attend a lecture or participate in a sort of a engineering specific event. It's all in one location. So there are 52 purpose-built teaching rooms, workshops and lab spaces throughout this building. There are 6 state-of-the-art computer clusters. There are a number of formal, informal study areas. There are 2 new cafes plus a number of sort of social spaces and breakout areas for students. And then we've got 4 large tiered blended and lecture theatres, as well as the student support hub in the entrance. this has just opened. I believe the University of Manchester are just finishing off kind of their promo sort of tour video. So once that's produced, you can hop on their website and kind of see that and take a tour of the building virtually. But that's a huge sort of investment and something that's very exciting, not just for us, but mainly for our students moving forward, to be able to have access to the facilities and that space moving forward. Linked to business, the Alliance Manchester Business School, they've invested £85 million specifically into their sort of business and management school. So within the school, pictured here on the right-hand side, there are hundreds of study zones, quiet areas and breakout spaces, including 3 outdoor courtyards. You've got a number of teaching, event and meeting spaces as well. You've got also linked to a brand new research center. And then you've got the famous Eddie Davis Library with the pictures don't do it justice. It's breathtaking. It's got floor to ceiling glass windows overlooking Oxford Road. And it's really quite something. So it's pictured here. And then the 2 sort of unique features that this facility has is the behavioral research lab. So this is a specific facility for studying human behavior in a controlled setting, and that's obviously linked to kind of business, and there's more information via this live link. And then there's the data visualization observatory as well, which is a fantastic piece of equipment. It's basically an interactive 3D visualization of data with sort of a matrix of 72 HD screens located sort of around. So again, more information, including videos on both of these. You can just follow these links. They're live, but it's definitely worth having a look at. Like I say, the University of Manchester, there's so much to kind of cover. It's got so many kind of unique selling points. It's difficult to cover in sort of half an hour. So here's just a few that I've kind of listed. These are kind of the main ones that come to mind when I was creating this presentation. And each of them are kind of, again, live links, so you can follow them. So if you're wanting more information about the ranking, you can follow that, and it'll take you to not just the QS World Ranking, but the other rankings as well. Another thing that is worth mentioning whilst we're on rankings is the fact that it's ranked #1 as most targeted university in the UK by the top 100 employers. So basically that means that our graduates are sought after here in the UK, and businesses and industry are wanting to work with our graduates, but also wanting to work with the university as well. So they're very active in coming on site, delivering events, delivering guest lectures, networking with our current students. So because of that, we've got really sort of strong links with industry, and really good sort of work placements and graduate schemes in place as well. So yeah, that's kind of it really. Like I say, I'll share this presentation with you all. And at the end, like I say, in addition to those links, you've got my email address here. So feel free to email me at any point moving forward. I'm more than happy to be your sort of main point of contact moving forward. And you've also got my telephone number here as well. So if you'd rather sort of WhatsApp me or give me a call, feel free to do so. And what I'll do now is I will finish sharing my screen, and there'll be time for answers. So let me just come off here. Oh, all right. Oh. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay. So let me just see if there's any questions. Okay. So yeah, hello to everyone. So yeah, like I say, feel free, if you've got questions, feel free to put them down in the chat function, or unmute yourself and ask away. Don't be shy. Feel free to ask questions.
Yeah, hi Sam. We have a lot of questions in the question section. Can you go to question section, please?
questions. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry, I was in the chat section. Okay. So I will start from the top and work my way down. So what kind of student clubs and societies are there? So there's a whole host. Pretty much if you've oh, sorry, I'll answer this question and I'll work from the bottom up. If you're, whatever it is you're interested in, there'll be a sport or a society available to you. The University of Manchester has won numerous awards for its student union, where the societies and sports are sort of led. So yeah, and if for whatever reason there isn't one, as long as you've got a group of, I think it's 3 or 4 students, you can create one. It's a really, when I studied at university, obviously for me, I was interested in rugby, so I joined the rugby team, but it's also a really good opportunity to try different things as well that you might not have had the chance to or thought about. So I took the opportunity to try out a number of different sports as well as rugby, and joined a number of different societies as well. So gaming society, film society, and that kind of thing. So yeah, what do I work from the bottom? Could you please inform us about language requirements? Okay, so I mentioned the IELTS. So if you're coming to study with us for 3 terms, you'll require an IELTS of 5.0. And if it's a 4 term, it's 4.5. Do we have work permit while we are studying? Also after we graduate? Yeah, so whilst you're studying with us, on the student visa, you'll have, I believe it's 20 hours. You're sort of entitled to work 20 hours per week on that visa. And after you've graduated, you can apply for a student graduate visa, which allows you to remain in the UK for up to 2 years, and either look for work or work. So that's the work question. Do you have partner companies that provide internships or job opportunities for students? We don't, but the University of Manchester definitely do. Like I say, they work with a number of companies and industries. And like I say, the graduates are very sought after. Do we offer pre-sessional English? We don't reach our language requirement. Yes, we have a number of academic English courses available to students, both online and in person. So if you don't meet the IELTS requirements, you can study with us before your official start date for a period of time to up your language and meet our requirements. Is there a clinical psychology master's program at the University of Manchester? If yes, when are the applications for September 22? There is a psychology program at master's level. I'm not sure if there's a clinical one though. My advice is to go on their website and have a look, and just type it into the course search finder, and it'll bring up, if you just type in psychology, select postgraduate, it'll bring up a list of all the courses there. And if you select the course, it'll give you all of the information, including application date, start dates, and that kind of thing. Could you please inform about the application requirements for a graduate program? So it's exactly the same process. You go on our website, you apply online, it's free of charge, and we'll assess your application as any other student. We don't have a graduate program for the University of Manchester though. So for the University of Manchester pathway, we only have 5 foundation years. So you'd study with us for a foundation year and then progress to the first year of study at the University of Manchester. If you're looking at advanced entry or postgrad, you wouldn't be on this pathway. You would most likely be going to the NCUK or Manchester Metropolitan University pathway. Do we have to prove an acceptance letter from a Turkish university for undergraduate applications? Can we apply with our high school graduating documents and English certificate? Yeah, you can apply with your high school documents and English certificate. That's not a problem. What kind of sport clubs? I've answered. Sorry, miss, could you please inform about program fees and also scholarship opportunities? So tuition fees vary for us. It's between, let me just double check, 19,565 for a 3-term, 24,595 for a 4 term. And I believe currently there's a £1,000 scholarship available. And then finally, is there chemistry engineering? Yes, there is. There's I think it's chemical engineering at the University of Manchester, which is an option of progression. Are there any other questions? How much do monthly living expenses cost, including accommodation? It very much depends on where it is you're living. In terms of the accommodation. Accommodation usually runs you between £6,000 to £8,000, and then on top of that, you need finances to live, and that will very much depend on kind of your sort of style of living, kind of what you're accustomed to. I would say usually you'd want to set aside maybe £3,000 to £4,000 to live on. That'll be more than sufficient. So yeah. I'm just going to plug my computer in just so I don't run out of battery. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. And is there any other questions? What criteria benefit from the International Foundation Years Scholarship? So the scholarship, it's not academic. It's not something you need to apply for. It's just sort of automatically assigned. So if you're on the University of Manchester's pathway, you'll just be assigned £1,000, and it's a tuition fee discount. So you're not given £1,000 cash. It's just taken off your tuition fee. Okay. Are there any other questions? No?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you very much for your answer, Sam. Also, could you please share your email address on the chat box so that the participants can directly contact you?
Sure. So, like I say, I will be sharing a copy of the presentation with you all. So you'll have all of the content that I've delivered via there, including those links, and also the last slide has my email address and telephone number. But in the meantime, on the chat field, I've input my email address there. So if you want to contact me directly, feel free to do so. I'm more than happy to act as your main point of contact here at Manchester moving forward. And yeah, like I say, I hope you found this presentation useful. And yeah, if there's no more questions, I think yeah, we can end. Is that all right?
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Sam. It was really informative and beneficial for the attendees, and you covered all of the questions. Thank you for your answers too.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure presenting and an honor kind of participating in this event. And, like I say, good luck to you all. Hope you found it useful. Where I am, if you have any questions moving forward.
Yes, also I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. University of Manchester ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Sam'le chat kısmında paylaşmış olduğu mail adresinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Yarınki webinarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Sam. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you very much. Okay, take care now. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.